Okay, so here's the thing. I recently joined TikTok and I was open to all of these crazy, wacky and interesting food hacks. So I thought I'd select a few after browsing around and try some of them out in a full day of eating. This is what happened. Alright, so first off is breakfast, and I'm going to try and attempt to make these hot chocolate bombs, but the particular one that I saw and one relevant to breakfast time and one that I really love also is a hot chocolate bomb oat ball. I know, crazy. So what it consists of, as you can see on the video, is basically melting some chocolate, placing it in like a silicone dome thing, placing that in the fridge for around 10 minutes, pouring in some oats and gluing the two pieces together, and then pouring on some hot milk. However, I'm going to use something else, which you'll see. But yeah, how exciting. I'm going to try that now and see if it works out well. All of these recipes today are very interesting ones, so do stay tuned to see how they pan out. So in the pan here, I've just got some hot water, and I'm going to put the chocolate chips, which I'm going to use for the hot chocolate bombs, in the pan just to melt. So once the chocolate is melted, as shown, you just want to pour it into the silicone molds and then pop them in the freezer. Okay, so whilst the shells are hardening in the freezer, I'm going to attempt to make the dalgona coffee, I think it's called, but my hand whisk actually broke, so I'm going to use this like frother and see if it works out for the best. And instead of the main base being just some milk, I'm actually going to make the base matcha flavour. So I've just gotten here 2 tablespoons of coffee and 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar, and then I'm also going to add 2 tablespoons of hot water. And now I don't actually know if the frother is actually going to froth with this minimum liquid inside and loads of like powder, but we shall see. Today is all about experimenting, so I thought, why not? And whilst that is frothing away, I've just got some matcha in my new matcha bowl and whisk here, and I'm just going to add some water and whisk it away. So I've never owned a matcha whisk before, or matcha bowl, and when I received it yesterday it was so exciting, and I think it's really cute and looks really nice. And plus it means I will have no more lumpy clumpy matcha, which you probably would have seen in my last vlog. I had a matcha but it was like full of clumps, and this just literally takes all the clumps away, which is amazing. So now I'm going to add the frothy coffee on top. I don't think it's the frothiest, but like I said, my hand whisk broke and I really can't be asked to whisk it myself. Call that lazy, but let's see how it turns out. Okay, yeah, like I said, there isn't much froth on there, and it just looks like one of those green smoothies that you try to run away from your mum when she says eat your greens, and she puts it all in a smoothie, your kale, your cucumber, your spinach. It just looks a bit, yeah. And I don't think anyone really mixes coffee with some matcha. One, that's caffeine overload, and two, the taste might be a bit funny. However, there's no way in hell I'm going to be drinking this matcha coffee latte concoction without a toffee flavour drop, because that would just be bizarre. So I'm going to dollop some inside, which if you haven't yet tried the toffee flavour in your coffee or your matcha, you need to get on it because it is my favourite for sure. Beautiful. I mean, we do have some frothiness, so I can't complain, but let's have a little taste test. Just to confirm, this did not go to plan, and I admittedly forgot the ice cubes that are meant to be inside the latte also, so this was an epic fail. Do you know what? I really like it. It's got the milkiness from the almond milk in there. I can taste some matcha, but I can also taste some coffee, and I can also taste some toffee. So, I don't know what I've created here, but it does taste nice. I think we should see how the chocolate bombs are getting on, because I haven't had breakfast yet and I'm really hungry, so I want to see how they're getting on. Okay, so they're looking good so far. I think I'm going to pop them out of the silicone. Oh my god, that is so satisfying. So that's number 1. It's so delicate, it feels like it's gonna break, so I'm being like extra careful. Beautiful, so we have 4 molds, which is gonna make 2 hot chocolate bombs, and I'm gonna fill it with some protein powder and some oats that I've mixed up here. So I'm just gonna pour those in 2 of the shells. And now I'm gonna seal them together with some hot water, which I'm just gonna dip one of the bombs in, just like so, and it's meant to just like glue together. I'll just leave that to set. And there we have 2 chocolate bombs. So these are the oatmeal bombs, I should call them, because that's what they're officially called if you put the hashtag on TikTok. And then we've also got, of course, instead of some hot almond milk, some hot Alpro chocolate pot thing, and I'm going to pour it on top, and what it's meant to do is essentially just melt the bombs, and then you mix it all together, and that's your chocolate oatmeal. So here we go, without further ado. Wow. Ah, it's melting. So as you can see, it's melted the chocolate bomb here. I'm just going to stir it all together, and it's going to be one big little bowl of chocolate goodness. Oh my gosh, the chocolate is just melting within the chocolate, hot chocolate. Wow, this is a fancy way of doing oatmeal. Of course, I wouldn't do my oatmeal like this every day. It's very time consuming, even though a lot of my breakfasts require time, but this is just a bit extra, a bit too extra for Leila's extraness. But wow, what a chocolate party we're having here. That's all I can describe it as, a chocolate party. I'm mixing it all together and it is becoming chocolate oatmeal, a really deluxe chocolate oatmeal. Wow, look at that. And now of course it's time for the little taste test officially. I would say that is, oh my gosh, let's start again. I would say that is 99% chocolate and 1% oatmeal in this, but I'm not complaining. I'm gonna eat this all up for my breakfast. And then I'm gonna catch you at my TikTok snack. Okay, so next up we have the ice cream bread. Now, I don't know if this is very popular. I just saw it pop up on my TikTok, which I've newly made. I'm fairly new to it, so if you haven't followed it already, it's just Waffles with Leila. And I'll be posting loads of my recipes on there. Hopefully they'll go viral just like these ones. We'll see how fancy I can get. But let's start off with the ice cream bread. I think it's going to be very exciting. And the recipe calls for a tub of ice cream, or 300 grams of ice cream. I'm going to be using this Ben & Jerry's cookie dough ice cream. I love this flavour, so hopefully the flavour will come out in the bread and it'll be like cookie dough flavoured bread. And then you also really need to use self-raising flour. That's what it says. You have to use self-raising flour, otherwise it's not going to work. But all of these recipes today are really not vegan. I'm just making them vegan, so hopefully the vegan ice cream is going to work wonders in this bread. First things first, we just need to extract a little bit of ice cream to have a little treat for myself before we actually make the bread and eat it. Okay, now we can get started. Okay, so first I'm going to pour in some ice cream, 300 grams it says to be exact. So let's just chuck that in there. And then I think it needs to be a little bit more melted than this, otherwise it's not going to mix very well with the flour. So I'm just going to pop this in the microwave for around 30 seconds. And then once it's melted, I'm just going to add the flour, and it says to add 170 grams of self-raising flour, as well as some baking powder here, and then mix that all together. So this actually does look like a cake batter consistency, and I'm quite impressed with it. So hopefully once we place it in the baking tin lined baking tray and pop it in the oven for around 25 to 30 minutes on 180°, it will turn out like a ice cream cake loaf. Okay, so here we have it, the ice cream bread. I've just grabbed myself a slice. So besides the fact that it's not very like thick in terms of like the size of it, it has turned out pretty well, and I'm pretty impressed with how it actually turned out, because you would think that just flour and ice cream would just make a cake. Like, you wouldn't think that. So whoever created this is just so clever, and that's why I love TikTok so much. I've only just recently joined to the party, and I'm loving it so far. But I think we should have a little taste test. Here we go. Oh my goodness, that actually tastes like the Ben & Jerry's ice cream. Like, literally, it tastes exactly the same as the ice cream, just with a bit of flour in it, and it made a loaf. Mind freaking blown. Honestly, I highly recommend trying this with your favorite ice cream. So other than the Dalgona, I think, coffee, everything so far has turned out pretty well. Next time I'll meet you is at lunch, for which I'm very excited with this main dish. It's been everywhere on my Instagram feed and on TikTok, and I'm sure you guys will recognize it also. So I'll see you then. So of course I'm going to be trying the feta cheese pasta. I've seen this many times on my feed on Instagram and on TikTok, and all it really requires is a few ingredients. So I started off by cooking my pasta in a pot, and then I started to prepare the actual feta dish, and I used this Violife Greek white feta. Place that into a dish with some tomatoes, some olive oil, some garlic halves, and some herbs, and then I placed that into the oven. I then started to make some homemade drippin dots, and all I did for this was mix some yogurt with some salted caramel protein powder. I placed it onto a baking sheet on a plate, and then I placed that into the freezer to freeze whilst the pasta was baking. I then took it out of the oven and then placed the cooked pasta inside the dish, mixed it all together, and that was the feta tomato cheesy delicious pasta. So we have the pasta here, which smells so delicious, and I cannot wait to try it. So like I said previously, this is the one I was most looking forward to, because a creamy pasta on a cold winter's day is just everything that we need. But have a look at that close up. It's nice and creamy and smells incredible. So let's have a taste test.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness, that is worth every step of the recipe. Wow. The garlickiness, the creaminess, the cheesiness, the pastiness, super delicious. Then we have these drippin drops, which I think are American, and like I said, I have it in the peanut butter flavor, but they turned out pretty well as well. Very crafty. They melt in your mouth really nicely. Wow, that's really nice. I really like that. And finally, for my lunch, I'm going to be having one of these Little Moons bite-sized adventures in the passion fruit and mango flavor. These have really hit the spot on TikTok recently when I discovered these quite some time ago, but Little Moons were kind enough to send me 2 different flavours, the chocolate flavour and the passion fruit flavour. Me and Grace both combined have finished the chocolate flavour. All that's left over is the passion fruit and mango. So I'll just show you the insides of it. If you haven't tried one of these already, where have you been living? Because mochi ice cream is so good. I don't even need to review this because this isn't my first time trying it. I just know they are delicious, and they are. Let me know if you've tried these and which flavour is your favourite. The chocolate one is so incredible. I even like put it on my oats and pancakes and waffles. Makes a great topping all by itself as a little dessert. Love that. So I'm gonna have a mishmash of all of these TikTok foods for my lunch and very much so enjoy it. I've got a big dish over there, as you can see, which I'm going to be sharing with my family and seeing what they're saying, but I'm sure they'll really like it as much as I have. Final meal of the day, dinner and dessert, and it can't be a TikTok hack video sort of thing to do with food without making the amazing wrap that we all discovered through TikTok, the tortilla wrap, where you like slit it in the middle and then fold it several times with fillings. But I'm going to do it slightly differently because that's how we like it, to be different. I'm going to be using my chickpea omelette recipe and using that as the tortilla and load it with my favourite fillings within a omelette, which is shiitake garlic mushrooms and some smashed avocado. Pure bliss. That's what I'm going to do for my dinner, and then I'm also going to whip up for dessert a Oreo equivalent but a Biscoff flavoured mug cake. These go round TikTok like crazy as well, where you have like 2 crushed Oreos, you put that in a bowl with a bunch of other ingredients to make a cake in the microwave, and there we go. However, I haven't got any Oreos in the house and I always have a spare Biscoff, so that's what we're gonna do. So we're gonna whip that all up and then see how it pans out. This is the chickpea omelette stuffed with the avocado and shiitake garlic mushrooms. I think it turned out pretty well. Does it taste nice? Let's have a go. I don't even know where to bite. So usually it would be the tortilla bread, obviously, holding this all together. However, the chickpea omelette looks really nice and tastes really nice as well. So another success. If you want to give this a go, let me know. I may even put this on my TikTok. And then finally we have the Biscoff mug cake, which also turned out pretty well. Taste test. So spongy, so biscoffity, and just everything that I need for a little dinner dessert. Perfecto. So I'm gonna end the video here, guys. I'm gonna have those whilst watching a little movie with Gracie upstairs. If you like this video, let me know by giving me a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more from me, and if you have any requests and videos that you'd like to see from me, let me know in the comment section and down below also. And finally, comment down below what is your favourite TikTok food hack that you have discovered, because I would really love to know if there are more, or if you guys have tried some and found that some have failed or some have went really well. Do let me know. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next video.